Alright, let's see if third time's a charm with this thing. Shall we?
Okay,
Okay,
third
do we have
time's the
success
charm.
here? Thank you. My goodness. I
Okay,
was starting
so
to get frustrated.
barring any technical difficulties, I will once again apologize for being a little bit late. I was coming back from my beach house, got caught in some rain. There was traffic on the Bay Bridge, but nonetheless, we're back at the crib and we're ready to rock and roll with you guys on this a little bit later than usual Sunday evening. So, with all that being said, welcome back to another episode of Dom and God's Sports Talk, the show where we not only talk about everything Baltimore Ravens, but around the NFL. I'm Gonz. That's Dom. Let's get cracking, shall we? Got a lot to talk about. So, we wrapped up week 2 of training camp. The pads came on, and there's a lot of hot takes to talk about this week. Fiery passion and aggressiveness and rage from the offensive players from the Ravens, as we will get into that. Press conferences, there's a lot of them that went down this week. Some key players and the coordinators, Todd Monken and Mike McDonald, both took the presser a few days ago. I believe it was either Thursday or Friday. I can't remember. We're going to break all that down. And we are 6 days away from the preseason opener against the Philadelphia Eagles at the Bank on Saturday night at 7 p.m. We're going to give you a little short preview of that as well. And we will also break that down in next episode. So we're excited for that. The first Ravens game, even though it's just preseason, is about to be going down next weekend. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait. I know it's just preseason. It doesn't matter, but it'll be nice and refreshing to watch our Ravens take the football field again, backups or not. It'll be fun. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So there were a couple injury concerns this week for the Ravens after, kind of dodging a bullet through week 1. Week 2, unfortunately, we dealt with some injuries. But even before we start that, we have a free agency update that happened later. I think it was probably late afternoon, early evening. Justin Houston, the 4-time Pro Bowler and Baltimore Raven from 2021 and 22, has inked a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. So all that, optimism or hope that Justin Houston would be coming back to Baltimore is gone. He's secured his spot with a new squad. I don't mind that. I mean, we talked about this topic earlier. Do the Ravens trust their younger guys, or are they going to bring in a vet? So far, and there hasn't been any update on Kyle Van Noy or any other veteran. So right now, the Ravens seem to be happy and satisfied with how the edge rushers are doing in camp. And we'll break more of that down, too, this episode. There was a lot of talk on the defensive line this week. So it's looking good. It's looking good for these young guys. If I'm David Ajabo and Odafe Owe, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Nobody's here to press my job. It looks like that I've got my job secured as of now. What are your thoughts on this, Dom?
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, I think it's just not signing a vet is kind of letting them know, like, this is your time. This is your time to shine. There's no older guys. Like, they're okay with letting the young guys loose, and I'm happy to see that. Again, we have no word on Kyle Van Noy, no updates if he will be signing a contract. But, I mean, there's also the rumors about Chase Young. Obviously, those aren't as wild, so we don't really know. But so far, the Ravens seem very keen on their young pass rushers, and that's very exciting to hear coming from them because, they've had shaky years, injuries. So it's good to see that they're back on the practice field, and it's good to see that they're setting a positive trend as far as, like, having that faith in them. Now, will that traverse into this season? I would love to see it. But honestly, I have to see it to believe it. So, I mean, I'm happy that with the core that we have, especially the young guys, I mean, we have Simpson coming in with Tavius Robinson, see what those guys can do, obviously. So I'm excited to see a young core get at the quarterbacks this year. I want to see what Owe and Ojabo can do when the pressure is on, because this is a pressure year, and especially for Owe. This is a special pressure year for Owe. We talked about this on multiple occasions. This is his time to show us something. And like you said, we're going to break it down a little later, but I think he's going to show us something.
Yeah, well said. I agree completely. Turn these young guys loose. That was the message ever since the summer started, right after the draft. I was always a fan of turning these young guys loose. They got Tavius Robinson in the draft too with their 3rd or 4th round pick. Can't remember. And he's having a good camp as well. So that's fine with me. That's fine with me. There are guys out there, like you said, Kyle Van Noy, Jadeveon Clowney, also a big name. Dealt with injury concerns, but nonetheless a pretty decent pass rusher to still be on the market. I think Jason Pierre-Paul is still there. He was on the Baltimore Ravens last year. So there are options, and I think hopefully the Ravens don't need to exercise those options. But if there's an injury, then I guess they do have backup plans. So we'll see how it goes. I'm fine with holding right now. That means we're doing okay. So, yeah. All right. So you mentioned injuries earlier. Unfortunately, there were a couple injuries this week. But before we talk about those, I'm sorry. Dom, how are you doing tonight? Doing pretty good?
I'm good, man. I'm doing good. It's a chill Sunday night. Weekend's over, unfortunately. But but no, it's cool, man. It's a chill Sunday night. I'm great. You realize how forever to get for this start of the season to come, and now that it's here, it's hard to believe it. Like, it's really preseason football starts next week, so it's interesting, but I'm excited for it. So I'm doing good, man. I'm just ready for football.
Nice. We actually already started the preseason technically. On Thursday, we had the Hall of Fame game against the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. Obviously, no Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson. Zach Wilson got some time in the beginning.
Had a beautiful,
nice
57
pass down the sideline for about 30 or 40 yards, right over the shoulder, a tough grab. But, again, very limited work for Zach Wilson as well before they put in, I forget who his name was, some Boyle. I don't know. But the winner for the Browns was their number 17. I can't think of his name. Did they find a nice little gem? He led that comeback and all the way back and won the game 21-16 after falling down. I believe it was either 13 or 16-0 in the first half.
At some point, it was like 16-7. Then they fought back. That quarterback, I think they definitely found a gem.
I definitely don't think Kellen Mond, who is the number 2 quarterback on the Cleveland Browns, job is safe right now because he looked pretty bad.
He did not look good
in
that
the
game.
First and second quarter. I believe he only got time in the first and second quarter. But yeah, he got shut out. I don't even think they scored with him.
Yeah.
But when they brought the other guy in, I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't know his name. He lit it up. 21 points on offense and a comeback win. That's what I know the preseason doesn't count. I know we said this earlier, but for guys like that, preseason is everything because this secures their job.
You're fighting for the job. I think with his performance, I feel like he's probably secured that second string spot. I have no doubt in my mind about that. Brissett's not there anymore, I don't think. So if there's a second string spot to be had, I think this young man has gotten it. He was dynamic, like he's dynamic in the rush game. He was dynamic in the pass. He even had a block. He threw on a crazy block for the running back to get to the end zone. Yeah, so he's multidimensional. I mean, he's showing his worth out there. I mean, he was playing. He was playing great out there, and he led the Browns to a 21-16 win over the Jets. I think they found one, especially I'm only saying it because it's preseason. You say preseason doesn't count. I get that, but I think the Browns have something. If they're looking for a second string, they definitely got him with this young dude, and I hope he continues to ball out because he deserves the opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely look up his name, and there he is, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. There he is.
There we go. Okay.
Very good job.
Dorian. All right.
Congratulations to him. That's probably feels pretty good. Outplaying the other quarterbacks, that's a good sign. So let's see if he can keep that up in the next 3 games because he could definitely find himself as the backup to Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely.
If the poor play continues. Well, we kind of broke. Well, we can't wait to do this for the Ravens next week to break that game down. Obviously, it'll be more in depth. I did watch the end of that Browns-Jets game came down to the last drive. Streveler, the Jets' 3rd or 4th string, was intercepted to end the game. So it was kind of a little exciting finish, a little preview to the season, even though it didn't matter. I don't want to see the Browns win that in real life, but it was cool. It was cool. All right. Now
Probably not against this Jet squad, not this new Jet squad.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
yeah. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and jump back on board the Ravens. And we talked about a little bit of the injury bug striking again, unfortunately, especially to the DBs. Rock Ya-Sin goes down with a scary knee injury, but Ian Rappaport came out with an update this week that there's no structural damage. And Harbaugh said it too, but I didn't believe Harbaugh until I saw the tweet.
Ever
And
since
there's
Lamar
any
stuff,
updates to this tweet. So his knee is structurally sound. He's just dealing with some pain, and he should be back anytime, according to Harbaugh, very soon. Very soon was the way he said it. Very soon.
I don't know if I always trust the very soon. With Harbaugh, it's just so hard with injuries, man, because he's never upfront.
That's
he's
my
never
motto.
upfront with injuries.
The motto is "Seeing is believing." Seeing is believing. And another scare for another star or potential star rising is David Ajabo shaken up, I believe, on Wednesday. Left practice 30 minutes early. I think he practiced the next day and then missed the following, or it was vice versa. I don't know exactly, but he definitely is a little bit dinged up with something. I'm not sure what it is. Don, is it a knee?
I think it was something. Yeah, I think it was something in that knee region.
Always
I believe.
But again, doesn't seem too serious. Again, Harbaugh also included him in the conversation with Rock Ya-Sin that they should be returning very soon. And I guess we'll know more in the future if the Ravens do decide to bring in a vet. That would give it away, or that would, help us see what's really happening as well. I'm glad the Ravens have not pounced on any free agents right now, which is a good sign, meaning that those guys should be back in the lineup very soon. So that's my thinking. And I'm hoping that's true.
Yes, because we're gonna need them. Like, I feel as though the one good thing about these injuries is that none of these guys were carted off, and that they were able to leave on their own power. Now, if they were carted off the field, my worries would be worrisome. But the fact that they were able to walk on their own power tells me a lot about their injuries, and hopefully we can believe that they will be back on the practice field soon. So we're gonna leave the optimism on at the front door here, and we're just gonna hope and pray that these guys are gonna be back, because the one thing I feel like we're gonna touch this is the cornerback depth. We do worry about it, so we need Ya-Sin on the field at all times, because there's not many guys left, especially in the free agent market. So
look at it like this, though. There are a couple guys. Probably the most, I think, probably the top corner right now would be Bryce Callahan. I think he's still unsigned. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but there are options, and Kyle Fuller is still out there too. Don't forget,
out there in the universe somewhere, like he was just
with a repaired ACL. So there are guys out there, but right now in camp, and as we think that Rock Ya-Sin's injury isn't too bad, and they're kind of just easing him back into practice, is there any cause for concern here? Do you think the Ravens need to pounce on a vet cornerback right now?
With how, man, I would think so. Like, if there was another position that I feel like we need that depth at, I would say it's corner. Now, like we said earlier, we're letting the young guys loose. So if we don't get a veteran pass rusher, I feel like, it's kind of fair game, only because we're hearing these much positive reports about how the guys are doing. Now, as far as corner is concerned, they had a great week in practice. Don't get me wrong, but it's just, we saw Kyle Fuller go down week 1 and never came back. You know what I mean? I feel as though there's nothing wrong with having that emergency depth just in case things go south. Marlowe obviously is a top 5 corner in the league, shut down, no question about it, but it's only so much he can do, by himself. So we need those guys to be able to back him up. Hamilton's there, Williams is there, so he'll have those guys, but we need that deep, those corners who are going to help Marlowe in that process. Ya-Sin obviously will be a big part of that, especially because he was such a big part of the Raiders and what their defense was able to do. But, if Ya-Sin, knocking on wood here, if Ya-Sin would, not be able to play, how are we fair? And that's what my main concern is. So I would like that depth at corner, somebody else. If we pick up somebody else, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. Maybe like a vet minimum 1 year deal. I'm okay with that. We also have Caillou. I mean, we don't know how he's going to play. Obviously, he's not going by Blue anymore. He's going by just Caillou Kelly. But at this point, I would love to see him out there, see what he can do. But I would love that veteran presence to help these young guys because we're not playing. These guys in our division are not weak when it comes to the passing game. Like each of them have a passing game. They have receivers, and we need to be ready at all times. We've been exposed a lot in the secondary, and we have to change that this year. So to answer your question, I'm going with yes. If we can get it, let's get like another corner for 1 year. I'm okay with that.
That's fair, but here's the thing. If the injury isn't too bad, I really don't feel like it is. I don't mind giving the young guys all the reps right now because Jalen Armour-Davis is getting a lot of looks on the outside, which is what we need, right?
That is true, yes.
Outside corner. So let's go down the list real quick. We've got Caillou, like you said, Jalen Armour-Davis, Brandon Stevens is playing a little bit of DB. I already said Caillou. Arthur Mallette, the new guy they got from Pittsburgh, more of a slot type of guy.
I almost forgot about him, too.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about him. Yeah.
They got some guy, and Ardarius Washington's a safety. But they've got guys to cover for that for now. So I don't think I kind of disagree just a little bit. I don't think they need to pounce on a vet right now unless it's more serious than we think. If Rock is starting to miss not just days, and that goes to weeks, and then that goes to months, and here we are at September the 4th, 6 days away from the opener, and he's still not on the field, yeah, we need to get somebody. Maybe not that late, maybe 2 weeks before to give the guy a little bit of time to, ease in.
Yeah, learn the defense a little bit.
Let's say August 30th. Let's say August 28th or 29th. 2 weeks ahead. If he's still not playing, or not practicing, then that would be a time to sign somebody, in my opinion. But right now, give all the young guys looks. Give them all the reps. Give them time to adjust and try to simulate game action. This is the best way to do it in practice against some pretty decent receivers from what we've seen so far. So this is good. I think they need all the reps they can get. You can't ever have too many reps, especially when you're a rookie or, a year one or even year two player, if you have limited action. So this is all valuable for them. I think they need it, especially Jalen Armour-Davis, who's been struggling last year as a rookie. It's so encouraging to hear that he's been doing pretty well this training camp. So just give him more reps at outside, opposite of Humphrey. And we'll see what happens. But yes, I do agree. I agree and disagree, like I said. If we need one, we'll get one, but I don't think we need to pounce right now, is what I'm saying. Because we definitely don't want to have a glaring need at cornerback come the football season, come the regular season, because then teams will just pick apart that other side the whole time, and it will just be super annoying. We don't want that. So, yeah, it's sort of a wait-and-see thing for me.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to the more detailed description of what happened this week. So, when the pads were off in week one, and this included all the way through the stadium practice 2 Saturdays ago, the offense was pretty much cooking. We saw the receivers were winning their battles, making great catches. Lamar had time in the pocket. Not too many issues from what I saw or read. It looked like the offense was going pretty sharp. And then we get to week 2, and the pads come on, and a lot more pressure in Jackson's face. A lot of dead plays blown dead because of people like David Ajabo and Owe and Justin Matabike is having himself a camp too, blowing things up, getting in the offense's face, causing Lamar and Mark Andrews, our superstars on offense, to show some frustration in camp, which I love, by the way. I think that's great. And it's looking like to us that the defense is rising to the occasion when the pads come on. So that's good.
It's good to hear.
I'm glad we're practicing against our team, not nobody else yet, because at least we can take that our defense is doing well. But the struggles on offense, and we can also tie this into Monken's press conference, and we'll get to that in just a second. The offense has shown a little bit of struggle. So what do you think? What are you thinking about this?
I mean, I think it's better to get like the rough patches out of the way now. Yeah. Because at this point now, this is the time to fix the kinks. Mind you, Monken is taking over an offense that has not been as top tier as we remember it to be. So, mind you, fans need to realize he has to take time to rebuild it. He has to take time to like fix what Roman had in place and change mindset. Like, this wasn't going to happen overnight. We all knew. Like, we all knew this was a work in progress. As much as we want to believe that, like, oh my God, Monken's here, it's going to change. Like, it's not. Okay, it's not. It's just not going to happen. So I feel as though let's get the kinks out now. And I just feel like these Lamar and Andrews showing their frustration, it just shows that they're passionate about just wanting to be perfect. And I just think that goes a long way for this season because Andrew said it himself. This season is all about unfinished business. We have some business to finish, and we have to be on point to finish that business. And obviously, you know, I think Andrew's the frustration was from like a missed PI call. He felt like a pass interference should have been called. It wasn't called, so then he flipped off the ref. I wish I would have been there to see it. That probably would have been hilarious. But like, it just shows you that these guys are hungry and they want it. Like, they know, like, it's good to see this because even they know this is their time. Like they know it's time to lock in and focus on what they want, and that's a championship. And they are not going to be satisfied until they get it. And this is the hunger that we need to see because we've been devoid of it since Lamar's been drafted. What have we wanted? We wanted a Super Bowl. It's been 4 years now, 4 or 5 years. It's only been injuries to show for it. So now it's like he has his money and it's time to lock in. And that's why he's like, bro, I'm trying to get it right the first time. But it just shows a lot of compassion. I mean, it shows a lot of passion. It shows a lot of fight in the offense and wanting to do this. So that's good to see from them. Obviously, like, you know, it's going to be some struggles for them. Gelling together all together. Zay still looks good, so I'm kind of happy about that. I hadn't really heard a lot of disappointing things from him when it came to camp yet. There's only been like positive reports. He's had stellar. Aguilar's looking great. He was quiet. I didn't hear a lot too much at the beginning of practice, but as practice is weighing on, he's been showing up and showing out, so I love that. Andrews is Andrews. I mean, we already know what he brings. So I'm okay with working out the kinks now, but I need them to have it ready by at least by week 2. I mean, week 1, I feel as though like it's the Texans, so we should be good. But week 2, we got the bad Bengals, and if we're not 100% in sync for that game, we might be in trouble.
We'll see. Now, just to go off on a little bit of a side note, so all of us, we have friends, right? We all have friends. A lot of people have friends. Now, you got some casual friends, some people that you see maybe, I don't know, once every couple months, maybe, sort of a hi and bye thing, right? You know, you go out to dinner or you go talk and you hang out and you just talk about some cool stuff. You don't really talk about everything that's going on. You're kind of just having fun, right? Some casual type of people that you can send a text, just no deep talk, just, casual stuff. It could be coworkers, for example, also. We've all got those type of people. And you've got people in your life that you grow up with, and, they may not be your blood, but you know them so well, you could call them a brother or part of your family or sister, whatever type of friends. You got those type of people that you grow up with and you develop a certain trust with, right? You follow me right now, Dom?
I'm with you.
Okay, cool. And they can sort of be the type of person that you can talk to about anything that's going on in your life. And you feel comfortable sharing whatever's going on. And you really, you have a real big passion for what they're going to say and how they're going to react. You want to hear their advice, and you genuinely don't care how they're going to react. And even if it's not going to be a good reaction, they're not going to tell you what you want to hear, like those casual people will. They're going to tell you how it is. If you effed up, then they're going to tell you you effed up. They're not going to coddle you and be like, oh, it's okay. It's not your fault. If it's your fault, they're going to make you feel like it's your fault, because it is. And that's what they're supposed to do, because they're your closest friend or your best friend, or
Gotta hold you accountable.
Right. They're going to tell you how it is. No sugarcoating, no strings attached. And there we go. And just, they're going to tell it how it is, and you're going to have to, you're going to feel it, and you're going to try to fix it. There's a lot of people in there. Everybody usually has those in your life, whether that's a close friend or even your parents. If you're super close to your parents still, doesn't matter. They're going to tell you how it is, but that doesn't mean they don't love you or they don't appreciate you. They just want to make you better, and they're going to just give it to you straight. No sugarcoating. Well, the Ravens had sort of a situation like that, as we brought in Todd Monken, who came out and flat out was brutally honest, saying, we're not good. We're not even close to where we want to be. Flat out said it. And I believe that was on Friday in his conference. And at first it was a little worrisome, but then I was like, this is excellent. And here's why. Because if we have if we go back and we have a casual coordinator, I'm going to go and use my little terms that I meant earlier. If we had a casual coordinator that tells us what we want to hear, like, oh, the guys are working hard, we're doing really well, we're moving the ball, the receivers are great, we're making a lot of plays. We're not quite where we need to be, but I'm really happy and we're doing a great job. If you say that, and in reality, it's a lot of struggles, the media is going to be satisfied, and maybe the players could even become satisfied too.
Yeah, get complacent.
If they get a little bit, they hear the coordinator say, oh, he's happy with what we're doing. Oh, we don't have to work as hard maybe. We can just chill a little bit. But if the coordinator gives it to you straight and says you're not where you need to be, and example, yesterday, August 5th's practice, which was dominated by defense, the Ravens quarterbacks were intercepted 9 times. 9 times. I don't know the last time I've seen that. More on that in a little bit. So the struggles are there, and Monken is making it evident that they are, in fact, there. And I love that. I really love that. I don't remember a Ravens coordinator that's been that brutally honest about anything for a long time. I really like it. I am very somebody. Give it to you straight. Who cares about your reaction, so you can fix it, right? If the Ravens players are hearing this from their coordinator and they can get it in their head, oh, we are not where we need to be. We need to get this going. We got a lot of time to work on it, so let's go. Let's get to work. That's the mentality they're going to have when they hear their coordinator talking like that. And I love it. I feel like it's a motivational thing, and I don't think the offense is that terrible, in my opinion. I really don't, because he said it was terrible, because we have seen some flashes of cool things, like in the stadium practice, and even when the Pats came on, there's been some nice plays, some nice catches. People are scoring touchdowns occasionally. So I don't know if it's terrible or we're not good. Maybe it's sort of a motivational thing. And either way, I love it. But there are definitely some things to improve on, because quarterbacks throwing 9 interceptions is not what you want to see in a regular season, obviously.
No, please.
I like this. I really like this. I don't remember, and this is, maybe I'm just being biased. I won't be. Anybody can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember Greg Roman ever saying that. When we went,
no.
If we won a game 10-9 and Monken was our coordinator, he would be all over the offense. And in the media, too. He'd say, how the hell did we win 10-9? We suck. We got to get way better. Did we hear that from Roman?
I don't remember.
Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Please.
I'm not saying, not that I remember.
I do not think that. I don't think that Roman said anything about that. So I'm already liking Monken better, just as a leader and as a coordinator. And he hasn't even called a single game yet. But his mindset is very encouraging. I don't know. It's exciting. We get a new type of, personality at offensive coordinator than we've had in the past. So let's see. Let's see how we improve. Let's see how the players react. Can we even out these kinks, not throw 9 picks in practice, and, start dominating on offense? And, yeah, so I actually do have a follow-up to this, but what are your thoughts on this topic before we move on?
I think Monken is doing a great job of just letting them and being honest, brutal honesty. That's what we need now, because these guys, obviously we want to avoid complacement at all times. So knowing that he's going to be brutally honest with them is something that's great to hear. And that's something to know that he's not going to accept anything less than excellence. So that's great to hear too. Obviously we know none of our guys on offense are perfect. Obviously they're going to make mistakes. But it's good to know that he's going to be there, because there's a way to be a good leader without being a dick, right? So at this point now, we're kind of like Monken. What we like about Monken is what he said in that press conference. He probably said to those players before he even went on the press conference, and that's exactly what we need in terms of somebody who's going to be like, "Listen, man, we sucked today. We've sucked for a minute now, and we have to get this together because the season is next month." Literally. So it's good to see the fact that he's being honest with them. The 8 picks, as you said before, is very not good, especially because reports were having it that, they were practicing on like 3rd and long situations. So the defense was pretty much set up to win. So I'm glad they were able to get the win, because if they didn't, that'd be a little alarming. So at that point, it's like, I'm glad they got the win. But I mean, it's not like those situations don't happen. I mean, they happen in football. Obviously, when you're at 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15, you're at a disadvantage. You got to get the first down. So, I mean, these are situations that have to be worked on. 8 interceptions is a little alarming in those situations because, how do we get out of that without Lamar having to play hero ball? You know what I mean? Having to duck and dodge defenders looking for somebody to get open. So at that part may have been a little alarming for me. But it's good to see that Monken's like, we can be a lot better than where we are right now. I think he sees a ceiling with this team that hasn't even been tapped yet. And that's also what I like to see, because if we can see an offense clicking on all cylinders, like with 100% communication, great connections, great connection between Lamar and his receivers, Lamar and Likely and Andrews, like, man, I would love to see that. Like you said before, Roman has there's never been an accountability on the offense as far as when we play bad. 10-9 against the Broncos, that's unacceptable. The Broncos were not playing well that year. Russell Wilson was not playing well. The offense was not moving. Their defense is what carried them through that year. Their offense was not. So the fact that we only scored 10 points and we allowed them to, that's not good. Struggle against the Panthers, offense. I know Lamar, I think that was the game. I know Lamar went down against the Broncos. The game against the Panthers, struggle on offense. Like, I don't know if Roman said a thing or two.
That game.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. So, so at that point now, it's like, let's see how this leadership carries throughout the season. Let's see Monken get on these guys about not being on par and not being to that standard that he raised during training camp, because we need that fight and that grit this year. Like, it has to be shown this year. So I'm happy that Monken is that guy to do it, to take accountability for that. Shoot, he might even take accountability for when he's wrong. Because I don't know. Did anybody hear Roman say, damn, I shouldn't have made that call in the playoffs to only the ball on the goal line? I don't know. I don't know if anybody else heard that. I didn't hear that. So I don't know if he ever took accountability for that play. I would love to sit down with him and ask him about that play. Because why? But either way, like, it's great to have somebody to take accountability for that. And hopefully he carries throughout that. He keeps the same energy for the whole season. And let's just see him bring out the best in these guys, because we know how great they can be. We've seen them clicking.
Yeah, I agreed. I'm looking at the comment section. We have a lot of stats here from Kobe. So look at the scene. Monken ran 3 wide receiver sets on nearly 70%, 69% of plays, and the Ravens only ran 12% with Roman. Yeah, no shocker there. We had Patrick Ricard on the field probably about 90% of the time. Yeah, it should be night and day, and that's good. The personnel changes should be very, very different, and I'm excited to see what happens. Kobe, if you would not, if you would do me a favor, I'm not extremely knowledgeable. Neutral, could you elaborate on neutral pace and drop back efficiency, or Dom, if you know that either? I'm not completely
I know.
sure neutral pace. Does that have to do with getting to the line of scrimmage or getting to the line of scrimmage faster? I'm not sure. Because if it does, then Monken's very good at that. The Ravens offense has been up-tempo at least. But, yeah, please elaborate that if you get a moment, because I'd like to understand what it means. Now, I was saying earlier, yes, just agreeing with Dom had said about everything. That was great. I'm really excited about this. I just can't get enough. Yeah. Okay. So I was right. Neutral pace is how fast you run your plays. Yeah. Monken does not mess around when it comes to that. That is something I'm 100% sure will be effective in the regular season. Snapping the ball without waiting till the last second to do it, because that was just so aggravating. So aggravating. And Roman even said it was a strategy to limit the time of possession for the other team. Like, that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And drop back efficiency, quarterback's average passer rating on drop back passes. Okay, so dropping back in the pocket, and Lamar was 3rd, 7th, and 1st in 2022. Okay, so those stats show that Lamar can pass from the pocket. So let's do it. Let's pass from the pocket.
Only the haters said he couldn't.
Yeah,
That's the thing, though. Only the haters said he couldn't.
If that's not proof for you right there, I don't know what is. And I see the Ravens have been doing a lot of quick passes, getting it out quick from the pocket. Not a lot of running around, not a lot of holding the ball, which is fine. Get it out in space. Let these guys run after the catch. We've got people like Zay Flowers who specialize in that. So this is all exciting. I do agree this offense will look completely different. It will be a night and day change, to quote Kobe from the comment section. Yeah, I agree. And it's exciting to see. But as this being a work in progress, I don't mind. I really don't, because we got time. It's only practice. We've got a whole nother month before the regular season. They've got time to iron out these kinks. But that being said, and with us seeing the struggles with the pads on, there is a realistic chance that this offense could stumble out of the gates. And I know you hate to hear that, Dom, but I don't know if they're going to be clicking by week 2. I really don't. But that's not to say it's not enough to win. I'm just saying they might not best ball yet. This offense could I feel like it's not crazy to say it might take about 5 or 6 games, maybe more, for this offense to start fully clicking, down the stretch. Because this is, like we just said, it's a night and day change. Like, it's going to be from heavy run sets to more passing sets, getting the ball out fast. We got to be accurate on all our passes. We can't oversail from 15 yards deep, Lamar. You know what I'm talking about. Because I know you can hit the passes, but we just gotta remind everybody that we can.
Yeah.
And
you gotta limit the overthrows. He's had some trouble with the overthrows.
There was a lot of overthrows last year.
A lot of overthrows. So we have to try to limit that this year.
Goes down. And the deep balls have looked good in training camp. They have looked pretty.
They have looked good in training camp. Red zone has also looked good in training camp. Red zone has looked really good in training camp. Which is good because we struggle.
As long as we, and it's okay to stumble out of the gate a little bit when you have a new coordinator and you're doing a complete 180 on offense. That's fine with me.
And we have a perfect week 1 opponent for that, in my opinion.
Dom,
I think we have a great week 1 opponent for that.
Makes me a little nervous. So please not every time you say that, because you're talking with the mentality this is going to be a bloodbath.
I'm not saying, okay, but I'm saying we both are in agreement that this game should not be a struggle. That's what that's really where I'm going at. I feel as though this week 1 Texans, obviously we know what the Texans have been, but they have improved dramatically over the summer. Okay, they picked up their QB1, obviously. They got Will Anderson. So obviously these guys, like they're making improvements. They're rebuilding. That's fine. But obviously during this rebuild period, we're expecting them to not be a competition. But
this is understandable. But at the same time, we can't go into the mentality that they're going to be bad. The Ravens, especially the Ravens, because
No.
we all
Yeah, I agree with you.
goes.
I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I'm not placing that on the Texans, but I'm just saying during a rebuild period, compared to a team that wants to that is pretty much can compete for a Super Bowl, like they're like we obviously we can't sit here and deny that fans are going to come into this game like, bro, if the Ravens do not lay the smacketh down on these Texans, then there's a problem.
Right, and that's
I feel like we
what I'm
all
saying.
agree with
That's
that.
what I'm saying. As fans, that's fine. But as the football team, the Ravens, they can't think that. They got to act like they're.
Yes, you got to act like every opponent is like
they got to
a
act
Super
like they're
Bowl.
playing the Chiefs, because if they don't,
Don't
they're due for
underestimate. You're right. You're absolutely right. Don't underestimate
that. And because it's the NFL, anything can happen in the NFL.
You're right.
We've seen
Any
crazy
given Sunday.
happen.
We've seen any given
The
Sunday.
Colts
You're absolutely right.
Chiefs last year. The Indianapolis Colts, they were terrible on offense. Matt Ryan beat Kansas City. In what world anyone would have thought that at the beginning of the year? And the Chiefs went on to win the Super Bowl. Like, it's just, you just never know. I don't want to take a silly loss because we're overconfident. So let's just, fans,
You're right.
that's fine. You can think like that as a fan, but please, Ravens, if any of you are watching this,
I don't think
take it seriously. It's week one. Go out and let's leave a big impression after week one. Yes,
you're right.
The team is not that great. We know, but you need to act like you're playing the best team in the league. You need to act like you're going against the 2013 Legion of Boom Seahawks defense and the 2022 Kansas City Chiefs offense on that team. We need to go out and act like, take them seriously is what I'm saying.
No, you're right. There shouldn't be. You should never.
Or else we're going to have another Tennessee Titans 2019 divisional round collapse. So we don't want to see that.
Yes. You should never underestimate your opponent. I agree. But like but back to my point. My original point was, as far as week one is concerned, with ironing out the kinks, I feel as though we have an opponent who fans would say aren't really matching up to us.
Yeah.
So at that point now, it's like, okay, let's take week one, utilize this time. Not saying let's like just be absolutely abysmal week one, but like let's take this time. If there are mistakes, let's make them here, and let's get the win. Even if but let's make sure by week two we have at least a general understanding of what we're doing, because the Bengals are not going to let us slide on a lot of mistakes that the Texans might.
And
you're
right.
Like when we beat them last year, we won what, 36-35? It was a very close game.
Against who? The Bengals?
Was it the Bengals that we won against? Or was it the Chiefs?
Well, are you talking about Chiefs? We won 36-35 in 2020.
Okay. And,
last year, Bengals 19-17.
Thank you. Okay, so close game. Like every game we have with them is close unless we're injured and they blow us out. So at this point, the Bengals are obviously not going to let us slip and slide. So we need to be able to come out there and be focused and be better on offense than we have been against them. So that's why I'm saying let's not like waste week one, because you're absolutely right. You should never underestimate any opponent because it's any given Sunday. We've all seen that happen. But let's utilize week one to our advantage and use that time to say, okay, this is what we could have done better. This is what we need to be able to go against. Because obviously CJ Stroud he's no scrub. Like I'm guessing he's starting week one. I don't know if that's been like announced yet, but I know if he's starting week one, he's no scrub. He's obviously going to know what he's doing, but it's the bright lights. It's your first official NFL game. There could be jitters. There could be things going through your mind on that week. So as a defense, we need to munch on that.
Right.
And the
Ravens
what I mean?
Set up for success. Yeah. Is basically what you're saying. The Ravens are set up to succeed,
exactly.
But they need to approach it with the mentality that they're set up not to succeed, so they can't succeed. Because if they feel,
and I agree.
That's what I'm saying. That's
I agree.
Okay, good.
I can't.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. We'll be talking about. I'm sure this conversation will come up when we do our preview to Ravens Texans Week 1 in just a few more weeks. So we're running out of time. So the last thing we're going to discuss What can we expect on Saturday? Who's playing? Who's not? Um, Obviously, there's not going to be any first teamers on offense. Maybe a little bit of Zay. Maybe, I'm not
We
sure.
might see I
Um,
feel like we'll see like a quarter of Zay if we even get
no,
that. But I feel like we'll probably get a quarter.
no, I don't think too many people from the first O line will play. I don't.
Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't need
No, he
keep
doesn't.
him on the sidelines all preseason. I don't even I give him a headset. He can have the headset.
Yeah,
Give him the headset and let him talk to the wide receivers who's going to be playing. He should not see the field all preseason.
yeah,
I do not want to see him out there. I need him prepped and primed for week 1. That's
yeah.
all I'm worried about for him.
And
Everybody else,
giving us arguing about, oh, well, the guys might be rusty. I don't care. That's fine. We don't want to risk any injuries ever since that abysmal 2021 year. And another little bonus thing, we've got the Commanders joint practice coming up in a few weeks. So they'll get some action against another team, just not
right.
game setting. And they don't need to be in a game setting for the first. And we're talking about the first teamers here, not the rookies. The rookies are definitely going to get some time. I think it'll be big for Salah Laulu, I think I'm saying it right, to get a little bit of action. Like I said, we'll just go back to calling him Salah. But he looks like he's in the front running to win that left guard job. He's been running a lot of reps with the first team. That's awesome for him. I like it. He's a big guy. It's perfect description to play left guard, if you ask me. This will be a big game, I think, for Jalen Armour-Davis. He can get a lot of chances here at corner on the outside. Caillou gets some chances too. Ardarius Washington, who also got a pick in the pick party on Saturday, will get a chance deep at safety. Probably Brandon Stevens too on defense. And this would be a big opportunity for Tavius Robinson to show some flashes here. And the Eagles are no slouch either. They are a Super Bowl team. They were the runner-up. I'm not sure about their depth, but I think they've got some pretty good depth.
I
A
think
lot of
they
Georgia.
might. Yeah, I think they might have got. I wouldn't say they got 100% better, but they definitely aren't lacking.
Yeah.
And they aren't lacking. I can say that.
Yeah. So yeah, defensively, those are the guys that will be seeing. Linebackers, obviously no Trenton Simpson. Oh, he's another guy that has an injury, soft tissue thing. He was having a good camp as well, flying to the ball, according to Ravens Twitter, everywhere on the field. An unfortunate little soft tissue thing he's dealing with. Hopefully he gets back out there soon. I don't think we need to see Roquan or Pat Queen anywhere. Maybe not, if they play, maybe not more than 5 or 1 series if they really want to play. But yeah, defensively you can pretty reserved. They've got some guys to play. This will be a big chance for the undrafted free agent Delshon Phillips to get some chances at linebacker or playing middle linebacker. He's gotten a handful of picks on Josh Johnson in training camp. Is he the undrafted free agent of this year? You know who that is?
Not top of my head. I feel like we got
linebacker number 53, Delshon Phillips. You all can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's because if you guys don't know, the Ravens always have that one undrafted free agent who kind of blossoms and shines through the training camp and preseason and makes the roster. Looking good for that guy. He plays number 53, middle linebacker, has gotten a handful of picks. Hopefully he can continue that success in the Eagles game. Offensively, Tyler Huntley all the way. Yes, Kobe beat me to it. I was going to talk about Keaton Mitchell as well. This would be a big chance for him to get some touches. Him, Melvin Gordon, probably Justice Hill. We don't need to see Gus. Gus is fine. We know what Gus can do. Nothing more than a carry or two for Gus if he has to play. Definitely big for him. The undrafted rookie running back, he should get a lot of carries. Especially if he starts getting hot. You know how the Ravens are with the hot hand. They like to feed the hot hand. They've gotten better with that over the years. So we'll see. And we'll see Anthony Brown as well, who also got game time in Pittsburgh last year. And we got a whole start against the Bengals. I completely forgot. Yeah, he's seen a significant game time last year against AFC North opponents. So
Yeah.
more than ready to talk preseason. So this will be fun. This will be fun to watch. I probably won't watch all the preseason games fully, but I am excited to watch this one because it will be the first one of the whole year. So yeah, nothing too. And as for play calling, I don't believe Monken's going to go crazy. Probably just sort of bland, vanilla type of plays because we don't want to show off anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting a high scoring game, but I do expect some people to flash. I don't know who it will be, but we'll see.
I'm excited to find out.
Though that's my guy to watch for. If I had to pick one, I want to see him and Delshon Phillips on defense try to have good games. See if Davies Robinson can get a sack off the edge. See if we can get another pick for Phillips, or just blow up plays in the backfield. Anything, whatever middle linebackers do, they can do it all. So those are my guys to watch on defense.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited to see Tavius Robinson. I want to see what he can do. I'm all big on the pass rush this year, so I want to see how he fits in. Keaton Mitchell, he's going to be a guy to keep our eyes on. I'm also interested to see, I don't know if he's going to play like a big role, but you mentioned him already. I want to see what Kelly can do. Obviously, we drafted him like super kind of late, but I kind of want to see what he can do in the defense. I know when we talked about drafting DBs, I know you wanted Joey Porter. So I know you were I know you were big on Porter, but I want to see what Kelly can do in this defense. He's been a sleeper here. I haven't heard too much from him during these camps, but I'm excited to see what he does in his preseason debut.
About too. I hope you have a great game. My bad.
So yes, I'm excited to see him and Robinson on defense. Mitchell is going to be fun to watch. I've heard some good things from him, so hopefully he can show his flashes. Huntley, I'm hoping he can make another, big run this year as QB2, just in case. Hopefully he won't have to. So yeah, let's see what these guys can do. I'm excited for preseason game 1 this Saturday, 7 o'clock at the bank. It's going to be a good one against the Eagles. I'm excited. I'm going to see, maybe, I don't know. I'm going to try to see if I can go. That would be kind of a fun one to attend preseason week 1. We'll see what we can do here. But yeah, I'm excited, man.
I can give you my tickets. I won't be in town. So if you want to go.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
So preseason week 1, bam. So that would be exciting. That would be exciting to be. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, let's get football cracking. Let's see what they do. I'm ready. You know how excited I've been waiting for this. Like, I'm so ready for this for the longest.
Yeah, well, we've gone full circle. We've covered a lot of things tonight. We're excited for the game on Saturday. We'll cover the recap and breakdown on Sunday. Who stood out, who didn't, final score and all that. But anyway, we're going to bring tonight's episode to a close. It's been a fun one. I thought we covered a lot. Like I said, I had a lot of fun. I thank you guys for tuning in and spending your evening with us. Those of you who left comments, thank you, Kobe, for giving us those important stats. I was unaware of those, so those were really cool to see. So yeah, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Those of you on YouTube, please leave a like down below and a subscription. If you enjoyed, leave comment your favorite NFL team or whatever you want, or any questions for us. Feel free to reach out by DM on Instagram or by email. We have that in description down below. Any final notes, Dom, before we go ahead and get out of here?
Oh, no, I'm just excited for week 1 of the preseason. I think we're going to walk out with a W, and I'm excited to see what the young guys can do. I'm ready for it. This has been a long time coming. It's been a long off season, and now we're finally here. It's time.
It is.
Football is back. So let's get back into it, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, football season is upon us, full steam. Are you guys ready for the ride? Because we are. Baltimore Ravens football starts in just about a month. We can't wait. I know you guys are hyped for your team's start of the year. So we'll see you soon. We'll be here to break it down. We'll be right here with you. Hopefully you join us for the ride as well. All right, guys, take care. This is Gonz signing out.